Hi Mathletes, welcome to Math Space. We're now going to start our series on percentages. In this video, we will be focusing on finding the percentage, rate, and the base. So when you say percentage, this is the part or portion, and it is a value obtained by multiplying a number by percent. The rate, on the other hand, is the percent. So it is a number that represents a fraction of 100 and it uses this symbol. And we also have the base, which refers to the whole or total amount. This is a quantity from which a part or percentage is taken. So in the statement, 70% of 25 is 17.5. This one is the rate, given that symbol. And then after the word of, that's your keyword, the of, that will be the base. I repeat, after the word of is the base, and the remaining here is the percentage. Okay, so how do we find the percentage, rate, and base? Most people uses this triangle formula to identify or to not forget the formulas of how to solve for the percentage, the rate, and the base, and you may also use that. So to solve for the percentage, you will simply just multiply the rate and the base. So percentage is equal to rate times base, or base times rate. It doesn't really matter. Okay? And then if you are looking for the base, you will simply divide percentage over the rate. So percentage over the rate, meaning to say you divide the percentage by the rate. And lastly, if you are looking for the rate, you will simply divide the percentage divided by the base. Okay? So let's take a look at some examples. Number one, we have 20%, or what is 20% of 1,200? So percentage is equal to base times rate, or rate times base, and then the base is after the word of, so that's 1,200, okay, times the rate, which is 20%, and then multiply. So most of the time, people uses decimal, and we're gonna do that. So 1,200, converting 20% to decimal is 0.20 or just 0.2. Okay? So multiplying that's 1,200 times 2, that will give us 2,400. And since there is one decimal place here, I'm just gonna put one decimal place in the answer as well. Therefore, the percentage is 240. So what is 20% of 1,200? It's 240. Next example, we have if 25% of a number is 2,500, what is the number? So this one is our rate, and after the word of is missing, so we are looking for the base. Okay, this is our percentage. So base is equal to percentage divided by the rate. So in this case, it becomes 2,500 divided by 25%. And if you convert that to decimal, that's 2,500 divided by 0.25. And if you are going to divide by decimals, your main goal here is to make the divisor a whole number. So this is 2,500 divided by 0.25. So let's make 0.25 a whole number by moving the point 2 times to the right. So this becomes 25. And so, on the other hand, we are also going to move the point in the dividend 2 times to the right as well. So, since the decimal point of any whole number is at the end, I'm gonna move it 2 times. And since it's vacant, I'm gonna put zeros. So instead of saying 2,500 divided by 0.25, we can also read that one as 250,000 divided by 25. So now our divisor is a whole number. Okay, so let's divide. So 25 divided by 25, that is 1. 1 times 25, that is 25. Subtract, that's 0. And since the rest is zeros here, we're gonna put zeros. Therefore, our final answer is 10,000. Last example, we have what percent of 500 is 115. So again, after the word off, that is your base. And then since it's asking for what percent, that's obviously the rate. And this one is the percentage. So to find for the base, so to find for the rate, we're gonna divide the percentage by the base. Okay, so we have 115 divided by 500. Okay, so to do that, we will just simply apply the long division, 115 on the inside and 500 on the outside. Okay, but 115 is small and we cannot divide it by 500, but we can add 0. But before we do that, you add decimal point first. 1,150 divided by 500, and there are two 500s in there. 2 times 500, that's 1,000. Subtract, that's 150. Again, you add another 0, so that's 3. 3 times 500 is 1,500 or 1,500. Subtract 0. So the result is 0.23. And converting that to percent, we're gonna move the point 2 times to the right. So this is the same as 23%. And that is how to find the percentage, rate, and base. This is Teacher B, and see you in my next video.